Namaskar. Myself Dr. Deepti Bisht, Professor, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, Faculty of Ayurveda Sciences, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today in this class for BMS 4th year students, I am going to take lecture on anemia. As all of you know that anemia is basically whenever there is depletion of RBC or hemoglobin in blood due to which skin becomes paler in color. There is pallor all over the body and the mucous membranes of body. Now, first of all, definition. As I have told, decrease in total amount of RBCs or hemoglobin in blood is related with anemia. Basically, it is defined as qualitative and quantitative diminution of RBC and or hemoglobin. In relation to standard age and sex, and it is clinically manifested by pallor. One more thing about anemia, it is not a disease, but it is a condition which is manifested in various disorders or various diseases. So what happens whenever there is decrease in RBCs or hemoglobin in blood? This leads to lowered ability of blood to carry oxygen to all the body parts. As a result, there is shortness of breath on exertion, palpitations, weakness, and fatigue. The signs are pallor, cholangia, pica, tachycardia. Pica means eating of clay, you're feeling craving for eating clay. Cholangia is nails become spoon-shaped due to chronic deficiency of iron in body, and this is usually found in patients who are suffering from chronic disorders or who are suffering from chronic anemia. Next sign is pallor. Pallor is basically paleness on the skin surfaces. There are specific sites on the body where we can see the pallor. So what are those sites where pallor is basically seen? First of all, it is usually seen in lower conjunctival area, basically which is known as palpable conjunctiva. What you have to done that just retract your lower eyelid downward and ask the patient to look upward, and there the palpable conjunctiva is seen pallor. Another important site is tongue, especially the tip and the dorsum of the tongue. Next site is soft palate. Nail beds are also can be tested when you press the nail bed and see the redness of nail bed. If it is paler, then it is certainly anemia. Next, other surfaces are palm, soles, or general skin surfaces. Now, what are the causes? Before going towards causes, the normal hemoglobin concentration in case of males are 14.6 to 15.5 gram per dl, and in females it is 13.3 to 14.6 gram per dl. So clinically 14.5 gram per dl may be taken as 100%. Now causes. First of all, there is impaired production of RBCs. Second, impaired destruction of RBCs. Third one is blood loss. It can be internal or external due to some accident or some injury. And the fourth cause is fluid overload or intestinal inflammation, basically seen in chronic diseases. Investigation, this is the most important part. What investigation we do for iron deficiency anemia? We do complete blood count, peripheral blood spill, and plasma ferritin level is the best single test for iron deficiency anemia, and total iron binding capacity. Next is stool test, which is basically done for parasites. Endoscopy is done to visualize any internal bleeding in upper GI. And for celiac disease, anti-trans glutamine antibodies or diurnal biopsy is done. And if there is megaloblastic anemia, the investigations will tell that complete blood count, in complete blood count, hemoglobin will be reduced, peripheral blood film will be showing macrocytosis and poikilocytosis, MCV and MCH will be increased, reticulocyte count will be low, and LDH will be increased. Now, what are the management principles? For iron deficiency anemia, first management principle is correction of dietary supplements. That is, iron-rich, iron-containing food should be given, and the drugs which are usually given are oral ferrous sulfate, which is given in the dose of 300 mg TDS. From this dose, we get 60 mg elemental iron one time. Ferrous gluconate 300 mg BID is given. From this salt, 40 mg elemental iron is obtained. Ferrous fumarate 200 mg BID is given. 60 mg elemental iron is obtained. And from ferrous succinate, 150 mg BID, 35 mg of elemental iron is absorbed in body. For parenteral administration, iron isomaltase or iron carboxymaltase, these are some salts which are usually given before administering iron in parenteral form. It is very necessary to do the test dose first of all, because in some cases patients are allergic to iron and it may cause heavy allergic reactions. Now for megaloblastic anemia, for prevention, proper supplementation is done in pregnant and children. If there is folate deficiency, oral folic acid 1 mg daily is given. In vitamin B12 deficiency, injection hydroxycobalamin 100 mg intramuscular is given. Now, this was the general layout regarding anemia. The practical one I am going to discuss. The questions which can be asked in Viva examination are like, sometimes we do stool examination in anemia. Why? The answer is, this is done to see the presence of occult blood and to diagnose hookworm ova. Whenever there is occult blood present in a stool, it shows that certainly there is some internal bleeding is going on. Either it may be due to hookworm or either it may be due to some other internal injury. Now, the common causes of severe anemia. All of you, I have told all the causes. Other causes which should be remembered are hookworm infestation, chronic bleeding hemorrhage. Sometimes aplastic anemia is also responsible for this anemia. Then acute leukemia, thalassemia, uremia, carcinoma of stomach, lung, and colon. These are some other important causes which can cause anemia. Now, important history to evaluate anemia. For this, we take history of chronic blood loss like bleeding septic ulcer, hemorrhage, menorrhagia, malabsorption, diarrhea, steatorrhea, nutritional intake, worm infestation, exposure to drugs or chemicals or radiation, bleeding tendencies, bowel habits, anorexia, and loss of weight. So these are some points which should be taken while taking the history from an anemic patient. Now, what is polycythemia? Polycythemia is increased hemoglobin or increased RBC in the blood, and the signs which are seen is we look for the lower palpable conjunctiva, tongue, soft palate, nail bed, palms and toes, and general skin surface. Color of the mucous membrane turns dusky red due to high concentration of RBCs or hemoglobin. Patients of polycythemia usually have facial plethora, that is redness all over the face, stuffed conjunctiva, increased redness of lower palpable conjunctiva, and palmar erythema. The common causes of polycythemia is COPD, usually which is observed most commonly, and other causes are congenital cyanotic heart diseases or right to left shunt in the heart, and sometimes polycythemia vera. High altitude and severe dehydration, which is called relative polycythemia, are also common causes of polycythemia. Similarly, thrombosis, peptic ulcerations, and hyperuricemia, these are noted complications with polycythemia vera. Again, what are the cardiovascular features in severe anemia? These are tachycardia, capillary pulsation, water hemopulse, cervical venous hum, cardiomegaly and later signs of heart failure, hyperdynamic apex beat, metrosystolic murmur due to functional MI, ischemic murmur is found over pulmonary area. And in other systems, anemia affects in following way. If we see the general condition of the patient, there will be pallor, dyspnea, ankle edema or anasarca. Anasarca means generalized body edema. If we examine the cardiovascular system, I have discussed all the symptoms of cardiovascular. If GI tract is examined, then hepatosplenomegaly may be present. In respiratory system, basal crustaceans are seen. In nervous system, there may be features of polyneuropathy sometimes, and there may be papilledema. So these are some important points regarding anemia and the treatment which we should give. So hope you will get some benefit from these points. I request you to go through the textbook also. Thank you. Have a nice day.